G'day, Ben from Melbourne here. Today's not a tag, a thread, or even a competition entry. This is a response to Steve. Remember him? He used to be on that channel called All the World's a Stage. But now he's back with a new channel name called A is for Alice, B is for Bob, C is for Classic Rock Steve. Because that's the world he lives in. Anyway, he's ruffled my feathers a little bit because he's made a video called Most Disposable Member of My 5 Favourite Bands. That man's got a problem with drummers. I believe he kicked out the drummer in nearly every band he chose, when everybody knows the drummer is the most important member of every band, because history has proven that when the drummer's kicked out or kicks the bucket, the bands get inherently shitter. So, because Steve is Classic Rock Steve, I'm going to throw out the window my usual Australian awesome choices, and I'm going to play in his classic rock arena and show a few classic rock albums where the drummer always stays. Except in one case. So, obviously, all of these records have been rented for video purposes, because who in their right mind would want to own this stuff? I suppose a couple of you out there do, because you see a lot of them in the VC, but that's going down another path we won't get into right now. So, without further ado, let's get into the first band who's going to get the chop of a very disposable member. Several disposable members, actually. Deep Purple. Even they agree the singer is the least important member in the band. They've kicked out 3 of them, starting with Rod Evans back in the 60s. And then these 2 dudes, David Coversong and Ian Gillan, both got the arse. This bloke, the drummer, been there from the start, still kicking, most important member. He's pissed off. He's dead. These dudes have been in and out. Always. Without him, they're fucked. Next band. Well, this is a no-brainer. Name me a good Who album after Keith Moon died. There isn't one. Okay. The Stones, right? Obviously, Keith and Ronnie can sing, right? So maybe kick out Mick. He just flounces about anyway, and it's all like, just look at me. Just look at me and never stop. Don't look at Charlie, because you know he's got the chops. So it's just all about distraction with Mick. Actually, why do we even need Keith? He spends most of his time on stage like doing this now or that one. Very rarely see his hands on his guitar. Charlie is like a metronome. Ronnie, I can take him or leave him. He's on all of their worst records. Charlie, again, there from the start. Made 1 record without him. Was shit. Don't fool yourselves. Hackney Diamonds is ordinary. Steve Jordan, good drummer, but he's no Charlie. Charlie is the metronome and the swing of this band. And he's dead, so there should be no more Stones. Even Keith once said, well, I think I've heard him say it several times actually, when Charlie stops, there's no more Stones. Obviously that's not true. What a pack of assholes. Next, the Beatles. I reckon get rid of Paul McCartney. First strike, he plays bass. Who cares? Second strike, He's written the worst songs in history, not just for the Beatles. Maxwell's Silver Hammer, Oblada Bladee, When I'm 64, Why Don't We Do It in the Road? Why Don't You Just Fuck Off, Paul? They're terrible. George, just a grumpy sad sack. Thought he was all Mr. Peace and spiritual, but man, he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got a big chip now. Imagine how awesomely weird the Beatles would have been if it was run by John and Ringo. Yeah. Just think about it. Some of those Looney Tune ideas of John with Ringo's solid in the pocket, plays for the song, no bullshit or frills drumming. They could have been a good band. Last of all, Led Zeppelin. This band is different. Singer, screechy, terrible voice, corny Lord of the Rings lyrics, can't play anything. Harmonica's not an instrument. Right. And their songs are too long. All written by Jimmy Page. So kick him out. Like, they even get longer live. Who even needs that? Get to the point, mate. John Bonham. Mate, you're a drummer. Drum solos are boring as shit. Just stick in the pocket and play the goddamn song. Nail that sucker to the floor like all the good drummers did. JPJ might have been a pretty bad dresser in the day, but he definitely held things together. He could play anything that was needed, and he wasn't fat-headed enough like the other three to need all that attention by being the limelight, by endless boring soloing. So get rid of them all, keep JPJ. There endeth the lesson.